Hi, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Crown, the Women of Mrs. Maharlika. I'm your host, Chai, and I'm excited to have you here. This podcast is all about celebrating the women behind the Mrs. Maharlika pageant, their stories, their journeys, and the Filipino heritage that connects us all. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Crown, the Women of Mrs. Maharlika-Idaho 2026. And I'm your host, Chai, and I'm here today with one of our candidates. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself, where you are from here in Idaho, and where you are from in the Philippines?
Hi Chai, thanks for having me. So, for everyone, my name is Chedel, Celeste Rivera Dayot. I live in Garden City here in Boise, but I'm originally from Manila. My mom is from La Union, though, and my dad is from Davao. Unfortunately, I don't speak neither Ilocano or Bisaya, but I grew up in Macau, so I do speak Cantonese.
Were you born in Macau?
No,
you were
I was
born-
actually born in the Philippines but grew up in Macau. And then I went back to the Philippines to finish my college studies and eventually earned my MBA there. Professionally, I am an events organizer and marketing strategist. So, luckily, my work has brought me to places. I've worked across Asia, Middle East, US, and UK. And you know how it is. As an events organizer, you get to wear different hats. The variety of what we do as an events organizer or a marketer is very, very dynamic.
Yeah.
So that really puts me on my toes. But I have been here in Boise, in Idaho, for a little over a year now.
What brought you here?
It's because of my partner, my fiance. So, going back, okay. So here's a story. Going back, like a few years ago, I think it was after the pandemic. I was like, I'm so sick of Manila. I was really sick of Manila because the traffic, the pollution, everything. So I thought that, you know what, I should move to US, Canada, and Australia because I have family and friends there. But then again, I was like, but Philippines is such a beautiful country. I just don't like living in Manila anymore. So what I did was, you know what, there's 7,000 plus islands in the Philippines. I could just pick one of the islands and choose. So I updated my resume to fit the local or island market. Luckily, I got offered a job, and prior to moving here in Boise, I was actually living in Siquijor.
Okay.
So Siquijor is one of the smallest islands in the Philippines, probably the third smallest island. But it's just pure magic. I know I'm not sure if you're familiar with Anne Curtis
Yes.
Ferry Walk.
Yeah.
That's in Siquijor.
From one of the new series. It's okay not to be okay.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's gaining traction. One of the things I love about it is because they were able to sustain that island feel. Not, they don't have traffic lights, they don't have traffic. Internet is intermittent. But then again, that's how it is. You don't have the luxury of the metropolitan cities. But then again, you're one with nature. And that's what I fell in love with the island.
So what happened? So from Siquijor, how did you end up in Idaho?
Okay, from Siquijor, I met my partner online. So we were talking, a few years back, but then again, we got we connected again, and then okay, this is probably something. And then to make the long story short, basically, I was like, you know what, maybe it's time I move out of the country and see if I like it here. I have family, friends here, so, and there's Filipinos everywhere. So I was like, okay. But it's one of the funny things here. One of the funny stories was when I first got here. I was telling my partner James, I was like, why are there so many white people here? Right? Because compared to California or let's say Vegas, right? There's more diversity. I was like, am I the only brown Asian girl here? There was like, babe, you have to go somewhere where your people are at. I was like, okay. And then I started Googling Filipino communities in Idaho. And then I think, I'm not sure if you're part of that chat group. I'm sure you are. And then I think in the chat, there was a, what do you call this? A meetup, Filipino meetup, and then we met in K-Pot or something. Okay. So that was my first experience
meeting your people.
Exactly, in Idaho. So yeah, that's very memorable.
How long have you been here now?
A little less than a year, give or take.
Yeah. Okay, and then the next question I have, so you've been here not so long ago.
Not so long ago.
And what are the things you like about Idaho that you think you will stay because of that?
I do like everyone is very friendly and welcoming, you know. Of course, traffic is also one of the things. So it's so funny to me because whenever I hear someone complaining, oh, it's about 20 minutes away or 15 minutes away, like, are you kidding me? In Manila, you know, our traffic will be an hour and 30 minutes. And that's just one way for, let's say, 16 kilometers. That's just, you know, an hour and 30 minutes. And that's...
It depends on the time of the day.
Exactly. So I'm like, those little things I do appreciate because coming from, you know, a country that's, you know, polluted and traffic is very heavy. So these are luxuries to me.
Yeah, my husband keeps saying everything here is 15 minutes away.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, true. Thank you for that intro and for sharing a little bit about yourself. So let's go a little deeper. If I talk to one of your friends, what are the three things they will say? What are the three words they will describe you?
Okay. So I actually when I did ask my friends about this because when we were filling out the form, right? You guys have that question. So
you did a survey.
I did a survey. I'm like, I want to make sure exactly. I want to make sure, you know, I answer correctly. So I thought that they're gonna say that, oh, you're very reserved or very quiet, you know. But then again, the words that are, you know, has been coming up were like elegant, driven, and empowered. So I'm like, really? I'm so glad you see me that way. And then I had to probe. So I was like, what do you mean by elegant or driven and empowered? And then they were like, well, because, you know, you're very calm in your demeanor. So even when things get messy, you come out of it gracefully. So I'm like, okay, what else? Exactly. So what else? I like what I'm hearing. And then driven because when I set my mind to things, when I set a goal, I try to make sure that I achieve it. You know, and so I'm like, yeah, I think so too because I personally think that I'm also a very driven person, and then empowered. So they like that I own my story, I take up space, even though I have a quiet demeanor. You know, when it's time to voice out things, I share my piece, I share my thoughts, and they like that about me.
Thank you. And I think a lot of our listeners can relate to that, and that'll be a good thing for the younger people to know. Like, women can be driven and empowered.
Exactly.
And still be graceful under pressure.
Exactly, because one of the things that, you know, other countries think about Filipinas are they're very submissive, mahinhin. Although those are good traits, but then again, that doesn't mean that we can't share what our thoughts are, what our opinions are. So especially now with the modern Filipina, you know, Filipinas has evolved, has gone through a lot. So, and I'm excited where it's going.
True. I agree. So let's talk about your Mrs. Maharlika journey. So what inspired you to join the pageant?
Kuya Floyd. So Kuya Floyd actually is one of the reasons why I joined, but it's not mainly the reason, right? So he's the pageant director of Mrs. Maharlika-Idaho, and he was the one who invited me and told me about the pageant. Initially, I was like, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is for me. And then a few months later, unfortunately, my mom passed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, thank you. My mom passed, and then I thought that it was not the best time. So I went back to the Philippines for the wake, all of the arrangements. And then when I got back here again in Idaho, just this September, Kuya Floyd approached me again. I was like, you know what? My mom would have loved me to join. She would have like supported me, like, anak, mag-join ka. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna join. I will join. So I told Kuya Floyd, okay, Kuya, I'll join. And then I was like, I have to, aside from the what my mom would have wanted for me, my personal reasoning was like, I wanted to represent the modern Filipina, right? So because I didn't really grow up in the Philippines, so even though I have that Filipino values in me, I want to, I'd like to think I have a multicultural perspective,
Yeah.
you know, and that's for me is what the modern Filipina is, the Filipina values, but then again, a modern perspective of whether it's global issues or national issues and everything else in between.
And that's a good, something you could bring into the pageant as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, having a mom who's supportive, even though like she has already passed it, but knowing she will be supportive, that's really.
Yes. Yes.
How has the experience been so far from the, like from the time we kind of like ask you to sign, if you're ready to sign up,
Yeah.
and then we immediately like you have to go to a photo shoot, and then the next thing is there's a meet and greet, there's a Maharlika ball. How was that experience so far?
It was really exciting because as an events organizer, I've always been behind the scenes. And then for me, this pageant is sort of like my coming out, my debut in the US. Like I'm finally stepping into my spotlight. Like, eto na. Ako naman. Parang ganon. So that's how I felt. So I was like, oh, eto pala yung feeling na pagka ikaw yung nasa spotlight and you're not the one organizing the event.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different experience altogether. But during the meet and greet, meeting all of the other candidates, I could already feel the energy of the pageant. Sobrang exciting. So it's like everyone is so different, but then again, I felt that everyone is the same in terms of the heart and culture.
Yeah.
So I felt that energy. I was like, oh my god, the caliber. Parang getting a feeling. So I was like, okay, this is exciting. And so I'm really looking forward to all of the other activities that you guys have lined up for us.
And you mentioned you didn't grow up in the Philippines, and you mentioned you grew up in Guam.
In Macau.
Yeah, but have you? In Macau. So how was that experience coming into Idaho with very little? But well, you've lived in the Philippines. How is that experience different now that you're here?
I guess now because, of course, the language barrier, right? There's really no barrier, but in Philippines we get to speak our own language, or Filipino English, Phil English. Exactly. Now I have to, although English is most of our second language, but it's just easier to converse in your own mother tongue, right? There are different values that we have, the Asian culture. So Macau also is in Asia. Of course, Asian culture is similar to Filipino, and of course the Western culture is different. But it's just fascinating seeing the different traditions and the different values. But at the end of the day, I feel that this is a new journey for me.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning.
Exciting journey.
Exactly, as I go through it. There are still things that I'm learning about myself as well. So I feel like, here, when you go to a bar, or when you go to a restaurant, everybody just randomly talks to everyone,
Yeah.
to strangers. They're very friendly that way. In Asia or in the Philippines, we're very just close knit. We just focus on our own
Little corner.
exactly.
little
We don't
table.
exactly. We don't talk. We don't go out of our way to just randomly chat up a stranger.
Yeah.
So those are the little things, but it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, good. So going back to that experience on the orientation and the first time you've met the candidates, I just want to ask you, how was the experience with the photo shoot?
Oh, the photo shoot was really good. So I'm not really good in front of the camera. My sister always tells me like, Sisi, bakit lagi ka nalang nakapikit? Why are your eyes always closed when, we're taking pictures? Either you're always so sleepy, or you just look so awkward. But then again, Ethel, our photographer, she was really directing as well. I was like telling her,
She's really good.
She's really
Ethel is
good.
yeah.
I was telling her, this is my challenge. My family, my sister told me that this and this. And then she was like, why don't we try different shoots? Why don't you try smiling with your teeth and smiling without your teeth? And then eventually she was like, you know what? You really are more relaxed in pictures when you smile without your teeth. So let's go with that. So yeah, she was directing me really well. And the picture came out as if I'm doing it for years.
So thank you.
Thank you,
Shout out to
Ethel. Yes.
So, like what's coming up, right? So what part of the competition are you excited or nervous about?
Okay, two things. I'm nervous and excited about the stage portion. And then, because, like I
It's the
said,
pageant night that you're...
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So, because like I said, I've always been behind the scenes. So now I'm finally putting myself out there, center stage, right? So for me, just coming out there with confidence and grace.
Not to worry about everything else that's happening, just about yourself.
Exactly. Just coming out there with confidence and grace will be a personal victory in itself. Because that's not something that, regular people do on a normal basis, right? So yeah, that should be exciting.
I'll be watching out.
And nerve-wracking at the same time. And then of course there's the People's Choice Award, right? So because I've only been here less than a year, I don't really have a lot of connections just yet. So
Hey, it's an international People's Choice.
exactly. So I'm like, when I first came here, I was like, you know what? I want to broaden my horizon. I want to make friends. And then this pageant has pushed me to do that right away instead of taking my time.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I realized that, the journey to the crown is a personal journey in itself, because you're like building your confidence, you're discovering things about yourself, and trusting that whether or not you'll get the crown, you'll get something out of it. And I think that it's a journey of self-discovery, so it's pretty exciting.
That's good. Good to know. So when you think of the word Maharlika, what does it mean to you?
For me, Maharlika means someone who leads with strength and heart. So she has her own opinions, but then she's also grounded in kindness. Someone who carries herself with quiet confidence. And I think that's what Filipina is all about. We're not really, we're not very vocal. We're not very loud as, because our values were like very mahinhin,
Yes.
very maraklara, di ba? But then again, we have this quiet confidence in us, when asked, we have our own opinions. And I think that is what a Maharlika woman is.
Okay, that's very beautiful.
Thank you.
So, going back to being a Filipina here in Idaho, how do you stay connected to your roots and our Filipino culture, knowing we have a community, but it's different from where we are from?
Yes. So one of the things that I'm so happy about is because we have an Asian market here, right? So whenever I miss home, of course I will cook adobo, sinigang, tinola, right? So I'm so thankful about that I could, the ingredients are there. It's available.
So you love cooking?
I do love cooking. And I'm close with my family, so I get to speak with them anytime I want, whether it's checking in, whether it's just, sharing food pictures, random things like that. They keep me grounded. For sure, staying in touch with the family keeps me grounded, and that's one of the things that I like with the modern technology, of course. And then this pageant has actually push me and immerse me into the community. So I think if it was just up to me, it will take some time for me to actually go out there, and make friends, because I'll feel like, oh, I'm in a bubble. I'm comfortable here, but then again, it has pushed me to make friends. That's what you want to do, diba? So do it, diba? So parang it nudged me to go there. So I'm thankful.
And we are happy that you're here. So is there a cause or advocacy that's important to you that you hope to highlight during your Mrs. Maharlika journey?
So one of the advocates or causes that I'm really passionate about is education and animal welfare. So education, because for me, I think access to quality education is simply one of the greatest equalizers in the world, right? You get to make better decisions, not just for yourself, but for your family, and then eventually, to your community, to the nation, and globally, right? Animal welfare, for me, I believe kindness shouldn't be selective. So whether it's animals or people who has less than us, or people who couldn't even do anything for us, right? How we treat those people or the animals is the kind of community or humanity we want to uphold. So, and if you think about it, true compassion should be universal, right? But if we lead with empathy in all directions, that's the kind of world you want to live in, right?
And I'm with you on that, especially on the education part. Yeah, that's really important. And I always, talk to everybody. Gusto ko yun na tinuturuan sila that you have to educate yourself. Don't stop from, high school or something.
Right.
Start somewhere. It could be as little as, picking up a book. Help yourself. Do you have pets, by the way?
I do. I do. I have two pets now. One
Here
of
in Idaho?
No, not in Idaho, but I do volunteer for a kennel here.
Oh, okay.
So what we do is, we walk them 2 times a week. We give out donations. So tomorrow I'm actually doing a lot of heavy lifting. So we got donations from donors. So it's going to be arriving here in a truck. So we're just going to be doing a lot of manual work.
What pets do you have?
I have dogs, 2 dogs.
Okay, who's taking care of them now?
They're in the Philippines right now. So my family is taking care of them right now.
You'll get to see them again.
I know.
Online.
Yes. So, but what I do here every now and then is I foster. So, and as much as I want to adopt them all, I couldn't.
But I have a neighbor's cat.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So we are at the end of our kwentuhan.
Okay.
Let's just call it that. But before I let you go, let's do a little quick fire.
Okay.
So just pick one answer, no overthinking. Let's start with adobo or sinigang?
Adobo.
Oh, chicken or pork?
Chicken.
Okay. Heels or sneakers?
heels, but sneakers after.
I will agree on the heels. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Do you have a favorite OPM song?
I like Jelena songs.
Julina Magdalena.
Oh, back then when I was a teenager. Okay.
Dream vacation spot?
I like Bora Bora, Maldives, St. Bart's. I want to go there, but I want to go to Camiguin, so that's closer to home. Yeah.
But you should have been there. Isn't it closest?
It's closest, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I haven't been, so I want to go there.
Okay. Yeah, that's in my bucket list as well.
Nice.
Who inspires you the most?
My mom inspires me the most. So she's the kindest person I know. So when she died, my siblings and I were like, we're her legacy now. So everything we do now is representing her. And I think we've done a good job so far. But kudos to her because she raised us really good. She raised us really well. So thanks, Mom.
Okay. That was fun. And before we wrap up, I would like to give this opportunity for you to talk to your supporters, the Filipino community in Idaho, and your friends and family who might be watching.
Okay. Well, thank you. Maraming salamat sa inyo. And thank you everyone to my friends in Manila, in Macau, and all over the US, and all over the world. Dax. Global na tayo. So thank you so much for supporting me. I have received all of your messages on Facebook, via text. Thank you so much for voting for me. The vote is not yet over. You still have time. If you haven't voted yet, you still have exactly. You still have time. I look forward to your continued support. The journey is not yet over. We still have a few months to go, but thank you so much for all the love. And to my brother Rogue, my sister Ruchi, my nephew Lee, and my partner James, thank you so much. And to my mom, wherever you are, I know you're in heaven. Thank you so much for guiding me.
That's so beautiful. Thank you again.
Thank you, Chai. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we will see you all in the next edition. Bye.
Bye.